What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadski, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today we're going to be having a look at what could potentially be coming for the Treasure Map Sugo Fest that's going to be happening sometime at the end of the week. We do know that it's going to be happening very soon, but we'll go through all that in terms of when it's going to be dropping. But look, the thing is we have history saying that there is going to be another anniversary exclusive character that's going to debut during this celebration, likely going to be the TM Sugo. You know, who knows, maybe they even stretch it out to the Kizuna Clash and they release a legend for the Kizuna. It would be weird for them to do that considering it is going to be a Super Boss Kizuna coming up, so I'm not really expecting that, but I am expecting the TM legend to come out to also be an anniversary exclusive. And look, anniversary exclusives are a level above of normal end of month legends, so I'm hoping for big things, right? So let's go ahead and have a look at exactly what we got going on here. The big thing that I'm drawing here is the title of the theme of the campaign, right? It's called the Unusual United Front, obviously because these two characters are forming an alliance for their brief time period during Egghead. Yeah, I would call that an unusual united front for sure. So I'm wondering, what could they even do for this? Now look, just because this is the title of the campaign doesn't necessarily mean that the character that comes out for TM is going to have any relevance to this. I mean, if you have a look at last year's celebration, again, we'll get to it, they didn't really have any relevance either, so let's jump into this one, right? So this is the official notice here, the World Cruise 2025 schedule. So in terms of joining, if you just log in during the event period, you're going to be allocated to a team. They're going to announce the teams on the 5th to 6th of March, and you'll be able to see what team you're on. It doesn't really make that much of a difference. The whole World Cruise celebration is like, it's a total whatever kind of event. Like, I get they're trying to hype it up, but like, let's be real here, it doesn't really make a difference. What it is you just get put into a team, you play the event as per usual, and you'll just get extra additional rewards just by playing the game. And it's just, they're doing this because of obviously the worldwide celebration and all that stuff. It's not really that important. What is important is having a look at the schedule. So March 12th is when the TM itself, when the TM event goes live. So if we go and bring up what's it called? A calendar. March 12th is going to be on a Wednesday. It always drops on a Wednesday. So in terms of when the Sugo Fest comes out, it will probably be Sunday or Saturday would be my guess, the 8th or 9th, which means we should get a data download around the 5th, 6th, or 7th-ish. Well, 7th, there'll be the official announcement, probably, if it comes on Saturday. What day the Sugo Fest comes out, the day before is usually when they announce it in-game, and typically we get the data download a day or two before that. So towards the end of the week, we should know what is going to be coming for the TM, so definitely look forward to that. Of course, when we do get the information, I will report it to you guys, so you guys know exactly what's going on. But of course, as I said, it's called the Unusual United Front. So my first thought was to kind of think of weird team-ups in One Piece and potentially things that we could see for that kind of theming for this campaign. So the first character is this one right here, from Punk Hazard, having Trafalgar Law and Smoker. I think this would be a really cool character to have, just because Smoker doesn't get a lot of representation in One Piece Treasure Cruise, and I think having him alongside Law in Punk Hazard attire would be really cool. Another thing to note, right, is I'm not expecting it to be Straw Hat related. I really don't think it would be, because obviously we had the whole month dedicated to the Straw Hats with the whole Egghead situation, so I'm really not expecting that to be the case. So we've got to think outside of the box, because the Straw Hats have definitely had some weird team-ups in One Piece, but you got to think of characters that are non-Straw Hat related. It would be very strange for them to give us another Straw Hat for this TM legend. So I think Trafalgar Law and Smoker would be really cool, and this could potentially be even more striker support, because of obviously Smoker's been a striker a lot in One Piece Treasure Cruise. Law's had a lot of support with strikers as well. Like a slasher striker support character would be really cool to see. This would be definitely one up there that I would love to see in Treasure Cruise as a dual unit, just because thematically it'd be really cool. And as I said, Smoker doesn't get a lot of love, so I think something like that would be pretty neat. Moving on, the next one here, this one I had to create myself, but this would be like, as I said, I really had to think outside of the box for some of these. But what about if we had like a Dressrosa situation where we had like Lucy, talking about like Sabo Lucy and Bartolomeo. Obviously they weren't like, they were kind of fighting together in a way. You know, it's a bit of a weird situation because Barto thought it was Luffy and stuff like that. But I think something like this, again, as I said, just thinking outside of the box would be really, really cool. Again, technically could be more striker support if they ended up going down this route, potentially like fighter, striker, free spirit kind of situation with this unit. I think this would be dope. We haven't had a lot of Dressrosa stuff, I would say, you know, recently. Obviously, when Dressrosa was airing at the time, Treasure Cruise was just flooded with Dressrosa characters. Basically, whatever whatever the big anime arc is at the time, Treasure Cruise gets kind of spammed with legends in that arc. I mean, if you guys remember Wano, I mean, it wasn't that long ago, but yeah, Wano was pretty rough. We consistently got Wano stuff, and when Dressrosa was out, oh man, we had a lot of Dressrosa stuff. But I think this would be really cool. Again, thinking outside of the box, it has some popular characters, specifically with Sabo and Bartolomeo. I think I wouldn't say he's like a super fan favorite, but again, Barto doesn't have a lot of representation in One Piece Treasure Cruise, and also representing another arc that that we haven't had in a while. I mean, if we go back to this one, like Punk Hazard has had like almost zero. I'm pretty sure Punk Hazard hasn't really had a lot of representation for Legends at all. I mean, we technically Legend Smoker, I'm pretty sure the original Legend Smoker was from Punk Hazard, but I mean, like, we haven't even had a Legend Caesar yet, right? So, you know, something like that would be really cool. Moving on to the next one. This is, again, a little bit of a weird one, but what if we had, like, a Sugofest exclusive for, like, Basil Hawkins and Apu? Whether it be, like, this one here, where they kind of had an alliance with Kid and Killer, because if you did this, you could have, like, Hawkins and Apu as, like, the dedicated Sugofest exclusive, and then re-recruits of Kid and Killer. I think that would be pretty neat, too. And then, like, the boss could be against Kaido, right? Because you know, when they were all as an alliance is when Kaido kind of, you know, party pooped their whole island. So something like that would make a lot of sense. Or you could go down the other route where it's like based on Wano with Apu and Hawkins together teaming up. And you could do some really interesting stuff here, especially because a lot of the 10th anniversary is focused on shooters in terms of the Pirate Rumble stuff. You could have some really cool stuff here with Apu being shooter focused. And then you've got Hawkins, which he's been a lot of different classes. You could have him be Cerebral, Slasher, Striker, anything of that sort. So I think this again would be really cool to see again some more Supernovas getting some love. Apu only has a Rumble legend in the game. Hawkins does have a couple of legends, but all of his legends have been extremely underwhelming when they drop, so I really hope that he gets a little bit of love, despite the fact Hawkins is not really one of my favorite characters in Treasure Cruise. He definitely deserves a good legend, right? So let's move on. I think this one would be dope as hell as well if we got a Rayleigh and Boa Hancock Sugofest exclusive. Again, another unusual united front, of course, when Blackbeard invaded Amazon Lily, and then Rayleigh come in swinging with that Conqueror's Haki. Again, they didn't really fight per se together, but you know, the fact that they do have some kind of a relationship, and it is an unusual united front against Blackbeard and the Marines, right? So I think something like that would be pretty cool, and it is still somewhat recent. It was during the start of the whole Egghead situation, or between, you know, Wano and Egghead stuff. So I think something like this would be really cool. Of course, last year when we had the Blackbeard release with Jesus Burgess, this was the whole like theming around it, where we had the Boa Hancock legend released during this time period, the super evolution of Rayleigh as well during this event period too. So I think something like that would be really cool if we got a legend Rayleigh and Boa Hancock dual legend. For this one, I mean, you could do a lot of different things. You could have it be fighter focused, which, I mean, fighters always need more support, so I wouldn't be opposed to that. You could also be free spirit focused, Boa Hancock shooter focused as well, which is always kind of cool. So they could go down a lot of different routes with this one. So this would be another one that I would really love to see. But there is one thing that I think could be a really nice fit, not only just for the whole celebration in general, which can kind of fit in, but it would also help out another Sugofest exclusive. So let's go ahead and move over to the X account, where we have Captain Pappy, who actually just posted this earlier today. Going through, like, this is actually showing every single character in One Piece Treasure, every single legend, and when they actually released. So we can have a look at last year's celebration. So we just have to find it real quick. We had right down here. So Blackbeard came out last year with Jesus Burgess at the end of February. We had the Boa Hancock, as I mentioned. The Super Evolution of Rayleigh was during this time period as well. The Rumble Legend was S-Hawk, and then we got Cross Guild. So this was all like if the few episodes span, you know, around the start of Egghead, right? So if we go to what we have now, we had the Egghead Luffy Lucci, and we had Zoro Kaku, all the Egghead Straw Hats prior to, and then you also have Edward Weevil as the current debuting Pirate Rumble Sugofest exclusive. Now, what I did is I went in game and I actually had a look at his flavor text that is actually listed. And the flavor text that they mention is that he arrived on Sphinx Island, Marco was away. So what if we had an unusual united front for Marco and Izo? I think this would be so sick, because like having these guys as a, you know, an unusual united front, I wouldn't say it's an unusual united front, but them being together fighting against a foe, them two guys specifically on Wano, I think is unusual considering their history and where they've been, right? Obviously, post Marineford, you wouldn't think that these characters would be coming together to fight on Wano Kuni of all places. Like, I think it is a little bit unusual, and the reason why this would be a fantastic choice for a Sugofest exclusive is because it would be just a cool character in general. You could have fighter / powerhouse focus, you could have shooter focus with Izo, but this character would directly buff this guy right here. And if I don't know if you guys have seen my personal tier list video, but I didn't even have this guy in the top 20 anymore. This character is really fun to use. When you have the right characters, this character is a beast. But the problem is there's not a lot of good characters that can really support this guy. If you're aiming to run the Whitebeard Pirate Commander units, there aren't a lot of good ones that can fully be abused under Whitebeard and Ace. However, if you have a brand new modern day release of a Marco Legend and potentially Izo as well, you've got Marco potentially being like Powerhouse Free Spirit, Powerhouse Fighter, and you've got Izo who could be like shooter powerhouse. You could have it be a dedicated unit that strictly works with this guy, and then of course you can get all of the beneficial effects via using these characters together, which of course when Marco uses his special, when you've got Whitebeard and Ace as the captain, you grant like HP guard and stuff like that. I don't remember exactly what Izo actually does. Do I have the database? Let me pull up the database real quick. I'm genuinely curious. What does Whitebeard and Ace do if Izo is on the crew? So Izo, let me zoom in so you guys can see. So if Izo uses the special, ignores debuff protection and inflicts all enemies with increased damage taken 2.5 times. Like, that's so sick. Like, imagine if you have like Izo, and then like Izo gives you a conditional boost against increased damage taken, and if you have Whitebeard and Ace, you know, you could obviously just get that to activate, which would be so sick. And like Marco, as we said, he can give you tap timing bonus damage for 5 turns. Oh, dude, that's so sick. Do you know why that's so sick? Have a look at this special ability, right? If your crew has attack up or 5+ turns of additional or tap timing bonus damage when you launch the special, you get the chain multiplier boost for 2 turns. So if you have the tap timing bonus damage, his special is buffed, and then if Marco uses his special, you can get the tap timing bonus damage. Like, it's just so sick, dude. So you can get some really cool stuff if they end up going down this route. Am I expecting this to be the case? No, but I think a character such as this would be so dope. And hey, it doesn't even have to be like Marco Izo. It could be Marco and anybody. But as long as it's like a Whitebeard Pirate Commander, I think I'd be pretty happy with that. But let me know your thoughts and opinions about this one down below in the comment section. Again, like, the theming for this celebration, it could just be just for this part. The additional part with the treasure map Sugofest literally could be anything. We'll have to wait and see. But that's going to wrap it up for me. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about it down below in the comment section. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. On that, guys, I will see you guys within the next video.